But I think this is true not only for us as a people, that it's true for all peoples, is that if you're from a German descent, then you should be proud of your German descendancy, ancestry, and should be knowledgeable in that ancestry in regard to how you carry yourselves. I think that's part of the self-identity piece, but it's true not for us, not just for us. The other thing is that in my own interactions is that I never had any trouble with anybody that was knowledgeable in their own culture, with the non-native group. But those ones I had trouble with are those that were not knowledgeable in their culture, who didn't have an understanding of how to respect one another, or who are knowledgeable within their own value system. And so those are so I think just having the cross-cultural knowledge would help everybody in the long run, not only the native students, but also the non-native students. And so I think we need to also be exposed to the German cultures and Norwegian cultures, and I know we did Faith Thureen was a professor at the University of North Dakota when I was there, and we did some reviewing for her. I did some reviewing for her in regard to a storybook that she created about the Norwegians when they first came to North Dakota, and actually she created a play from the storybook. And so we interacted with her and worked with her in regard to bringing in a drum group and some dancers, and she brought in some dancers. And what I found out within the storybook was stories of little men that lived in trees, and how they kind of mess with you every once in a while. And though we have those same stories. And that Norwegians' culture has drums. They use drums within their songs and their dancing. And so we have drums. So there's a lot of similarities between our cultures, and I think we need to look for that. And I think a lot of times we're always looking for the differences because it's just easier to do, I think. But if we continue to focus on that, we're never going to get to where we need to be as a people. As overall people. I'm not talking just about American Indians or non-American Indians, but as overall as a people. I was in St. Cloud for a workshop, and we shared a booth with somebody, and this is my epiphany, or the light bulb went off, is that I'm sitting with her and we're sharing a booth and we're just visiting, and she's talking about this, we're talking about dream cars. So she's talking about the Audi A4, and so then so in the Audi A4, she says that was her dream car. She said, I said, yeah, that's a nice car, and she said, but I could never take it home. And I said, why not? And she said, well, my grandma would kill me. And I said, well, and we're kind of laughing about it. And I said, well, why? And she said, it's okay to have money, but it's not okay to show it off. And that's what kind of opened my eyes, because that value is a value that we have. It's okay to have money, but it's not okay to show off that you have money. Don't show off. Don't put yourself up front. And these are the things that that we've kind of part of our value system is that don't draw attention to yourself. And so those things I think are commonplace for, especially up here in North Dakota among our tribes, is that we're supposed to have humility in how we carry ourselves. And that if somebody's going to stand up in front, that's reserved for our elders. That's reserved for our veterans. So that's they have the right in order to get up and do that. We as younger folks, we don't do that. And so I don't know when we get to be old guys or whatever, but but whenever that comes, I think the people decide that when we're elders and when we've got some wisdom. And I think that so we let them decide rather than ourselves.